Good morning, STDA members. Paul Connect here, coming to you from the State Capitol building on Thursday, January 28th, with a quick report for the week. A lot of new bills have been introduced this week. Unfortunately for us, nothing that we find that's directly affecting dentistry in any negative way. I want to give you an update on a couple of the bills, though, that we are following and working on. Our network leasing bill now has a number. It's House Bill 1073. This bill will allow dentists to, in the event that you join a network and you are leased to other insurance networks, it would allow you to, in advance, select which networks you want to be part of, as opposed to allowing the company that you originally joined to sell you or lease you to other networks. We've been working with the insurance industry to make sure that it's, I wouldn't say acceptable to them, but so that at least we won't find any strong opposition from them. So at this point, that bill is looking good. We are going to have a hearing on Monday morning, February 1st. We're planning at this point to have one dentist and a dental office manager from two different practices actually testify in committee about their experiences when they've signed up for a dental insurance plan and then found out later that they were leased to multiple other plans and the complications that creates. So if this bill succeeds, dentists will certainly have a lot more control over the plans that they are entered into. So more coming on that, but House Bill 1073. The COVID limited liability bill, which is House Bill 1046, came out of committee, came through the House floor in really good shape. So this would protect our members from liability exposure from COVID due to either someone being on your premises or if someone had a health condition that arose because of care that was delayed that could not be addressed because of COVID. So added liability protections there. That bill's in great shape. The uniform complaint process, which is House Bill 1014, we were able to amend that bill so that if it were to pass, a uniform complaint process across all boards and occupations would allow the licensee now at least 20 days to respond to a complaint from a patient. So from our perspective, that bill now is in pretty good form, and we can live with it, and it's going to be heading over to the Senate. There's a couple of bills that, as a result of executive orders during the COVID pandemic, are now being considered for permanent change as opposed to an executive order temporary change. One deals with telehealth. We've looked at that bill. It's actually fine for dentistry. It would allow you to consult someone over telephone and allows establishment of a patient relationship with someone out of state. In both cases, there are protections there to make sure that it's not abused, so that looks like it would be just fine. It's Senate Bill 96. And then also something that was an executive order that's now being considered for permanent placement in law is a licensure by endorsement bill. There's a laundry list of professions that this would affect. Dentistry is not one of them. We are watching that bill just to make sure that we are not somehow brought into it later on in the process. So that bill has had a committee hearing and it's on the floor of the House. So that, by the way, number 1077 is that House bill. Then there's a couple of other bills that don't affect dentistry but do affect nonprofit organizations like ours. In both cases, they appear to add in one case of protection, and the other case it adds some flexibility in our legal ability to make decisions electronically, etc. So both of those look good at this point, and we'll just be following those as an organization because they affect us as a nonprofit. That's what we have so far this session. We got a long way to go. Another week of opportunity for people to introduce bills, so we'll be watching for new things that might come our way. Plan on having another update for you next week. One quick thing that I'll add is that we are expecting an executive order that will allow dentists and hygienists to administer vaccines as volunteers. Don't have a time frame exactly, but we've been told by the Secretary of Health that executive order will be coming, and that dentists will be allowed to go beyond their existing scope of practice and provide vaccinations. Obviously, for a limited period of time, dealing with the COVID pandemic, etc. So more to come on that once we actually see the executive order, but a lot of folks have been asking whether or not we will be allowed to do that, and the answer appears to be yes in the not too distant future. So thanks for tuning in. As always, if you want to call, my cell phone number is 605-280-2133, and direct line at the desk is 605-609-1155. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week.